Here we go. We got Valkia and our Minotaurs and Marauders coming in for Khorne. Aurelia and her High Elves for the High Elves. Let's get to it. My opponent, Taggy, coming in, trying to deal with me, and he's got all the healing he needs versus Valkia. He's already trying to drop spells on her, but apparently he did an attack order, so it canceled everything. 4 Marauder Horsemen to deal with most of his armored units. And here he goes, dropping the Twister, but I counter by dropping my shield. That will do, so it won't be as effective as it should have been. Thank goodness. This is why I took Valkia. My opponent is a Khorne main, so I had to be careful on this one. And my opponent really threw me for a real kick in the side, because he brought, as you can see, mostly melee units, as he has another player who's a Khorne main, friend of the channel. He knew what to bring. Lots of rangers, lots of fighting. So this should handle my marauders quite well, but not the marauder horsemen. Although those spear Phoenix Guard are going to have to eat some of those axes. But spearmen, not so much. But against 4 marauder axes, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Try to weaken them so that way we can make our way to the rangers as Valkia comes and disrupts Aurelia. I like this build my opponent brought, because I brought 3... Oh, here we go, another Twister. This time no shield. I think I got a little too aggressive with her. But yeah, I brought 3 Things of Furious just in case of any swarms of bowmen, because this is a nice choke point to try to do it. But my opponent didn't do it. Did not do it. Twister did some solid damage. But Aurelia's still not a fighter. Well, not compared to Valkia at least. And here we go, trying to engage with my marauders, with these spearmen. Because if they're engaged in combat, they can't use their shields. Or in the flank. Ooh, look at that. Spearmen and rangers. I hope they pile up like I want them to. And here's some bad micro on my end. Ooh, these rangers took a nice volley. I need to get my marauder horsemen all around. My opponent tries to land so he can capture Valkia, but I don't play that game. I suspected it all too well. And that spear, ooh, tore those boys apart. You better heal them before they feel it. Got my Minotaurs over there holding in case he wants to bring any Reavers, but he brings it in through his home objective, or his home spawn. Not the side point. Fireborn Dragon Princes. Well, luckily Minotaurs will deal with them quite handily. Once they get in, once they engage. Get my marauder, my horseman out. He sees the Minotaurs coming in and denies. Valkia is so annoying. Yeah, 30 armor. Valkia is going to win that. She only has 5,000 HP. That was 1 hit. Wow. Aurelia's already taken quite the blow. And that's all I'm going to do is harass with Valkia. Not just a great duelist, but a great harassing unit. 95 speed's pretty solid. Waiting for another spear to come down. Yeah, this is what I mean with my micro. My units are all bunched up so they can't all throw their axes at the proper targets. And this is why I've tried other builds where it's just straight up nothing but melee units and it doesn't bode well. But when you have Marauder Horsemen who move at 95 speed, have AP axes, they do quite well against everything else that your units can't really take on. I mean, had I brought Bloodletters, I wouldn't have enough of a front line to block for these Marauder Horsemen. I could probably swap out 2 of the Horsemen for 2 Bloodletters and some of the Marauders. And here goes another one. He's trying to do Twister again, but no, we got the shield. Good shield. And we're just going to try to poke out Aurelia right now as we land. Or we try to land. Flying units are so glitchy, it's so annoying. Because you can't land on top of other units, so your unit who's flying and trying to land just bounces up and down, and yeah, it's just a nuisance. Bloodletters are feeling it. But we're getting them back in there, thanks to these Minotaurs coming in. Good old Minotaurs. They're so good. Spear right there. Ooh, cut them all a good one. Real nice. And I am ahead, and that is not what you want your Khorne opponent to be. As we cut down all these silver helms. Yeah, I'll say this and I'll say it again. I've said this in many Khorne videos. The problem with Khorne is we don't have a very fast AP unit. And I'd prefer if they were a flying AP unit. Because everything in between 95 and 62 speed is... Well, anything 62 speed is AP, but they're too slow. Anything above 62 speed has no AP, and they're very fragile. So all those Skull Crushers and Blood Crushers, great heavy cav units. The only problem is they can't catch up to other cav units that are at 70 plus speed. Or even worse, skirmisher units. So yeah, it's just a nightmare for Khorne in that measure, and I am looking at this right now. Yeah, my opponent's casting a nice heal, and we are so clumped up. Minotaurs are suffering right now. Those Reavers, though. I could have actually... Yeah, there we go. The dog's eating up those Reavers just nicely. I thought the dogs would be enough to deal with these Reavers, but apparently not. I think Furies actually handle Reavers quite well. They have more models than the dogs. Same AP, but not the longevity, though. Bringing in Forsaken to deal with Rangers, which should handle them quite nicely. Trying to keep harassing his Illyrian Reavers. Ugh, sorry about that. And yeah, now it's just a bloody back and forth. I am up almost 2,000 now. Good. These Marauder Horsemen done with their ammo. And here's the thing I've learned about rewatching this replay. My Marauder Horsemen, as good as they are, without their ammunition, once they lose their ammunition, you really should just unsummon them and try to resummon. Like any archer unit. Or missile unit, really. Though they are technically a cav melee unit, there's nothing for my unit there for them to really attack, so I just end up wasting them trying to take out these spearmen. And I believe those are... I don't know why I want to call them Celestial Dragon Guard. Opponent making our way to my home objective, trying to cap on that. It's not a bad move. I have Minotaurs chasing after them, because the Minotaurs don't really have any good targets right now. They don't want to go into those spearmen or any halberd units. So it doesn't make sense to have them sit there, wait, and do nothing. And my other Marauder Horsemen are getting cut down. Like I said, if I would have sold those, probably brought in some Bloodletters, some more real units, Chaos Warriors, just to hold down this line, that probably would have been way better than what I'm doing right now with them. Or even just resummon some other Marauder Horsemen. Instead of letting my units get wasted here. Or even try to make it his, or try to go at his objective. And here's a big mistake I make. I try to unsummon my weakened Minotaur, and I ended up accidentally putting Valkia in that group with them. So I unsummoned all my Minotaurs and Valkia. Great. And I still had a lot to do with Valkia. Oh man, if I still had Valkia right now, that would have been great. I could harass Aurelia. I could get things done. But here we go, Hellforge toast. I figured, you know what? Might as well make something good out of something bad. And after, because I went up to 2,600 value, resources, after unsummoning all those units, so, yeah, Hellforge host, after seeing everything around here, should have an easy time tearing through most of these units. The Reaver's capping my objective right now. My opponent's triple capping me, which is not ideal. So we're going to summon in some dogs and try to deal with those soon. White Lions of Charis. White Lions will get smacked by Marauder Horsemen easily if you pay attention to your micros, so there's a little tip for those who don't know. And yeah, we're getting handled, but Aurelia's going to go soon. Gotta make sure we're keeping an eye on her. Marauders. Ooh. Yep, and his Silver Helm and his ROR, and most of his cav units are pretty much spent. Chaos Warriors with halberds on my end. They're the only thing with AP and some lasting power right now. Bloodletters chewing through everything else. More Reavers. I should have more dogs coming in to deal with those little bastards. Dogs and Furies do quite well. I should be. But I'm not facing a typical High Elf build. This is a very unorthodox High Elf build. Fireborn versus all those fresh units down there should be good. And yeah, once my opponent saw these Hellforge hosts, he was like, "Ah, shit. I gotta deal with those now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, now." And he should, because, man, These things are going to be a problem. Yeah, really, you better get in there. Really might actually die to him. And the beauty of this is, you guys might not be able to see this, these things are going to be unkillable in about a second, because I'm going to use the second tier army ability Khorne has to make sure these guys don't die. Pretty soon. I think it might have kicked off right now, because I'm not losing any models. Oh no, it's still not kicked in. And once it does, it's going to get bloody. I think it starts at at least 80 models. Maybe more or less. Oh, and look at that. Just chewing through those Reavers. Yeah, just keep sending everything. Yep, there it is. Now they're unkillable. Yep, and unbreakable. Yep, you better keep charging in, and we're going to try to kill everything. Aurelia's going to go, and oh, look at those! Minotaurs are back. Yeah, Aurelia's done. Aurelia is done. My Hellforge should chew through all those white lions, Minotaurs, everything else. Come on, got him. Oh, I just love the charge animation those Minotaurs have. And once the Hellforge get their bonuses from the Hellforge ability, it should be easy work. More bloodletters to deal with the rest of this. Dogs to come in. I forgot about those 2 units chasing off his Larian Reaver, so I summoned in more dogs. And those dogs could have been in here dealing with these silver helms and everything else, I guess. Oh, look at those Hellforge hosts just doing work. Chew through them. Yeah, those Reavers are gone. They were just summoned, too. Just summoned. And yeah, it looks like we're going to recap my home objective and the second objective soon. As soon as we get rid of all these annoying, pesky units. But yeah, I really should have used the Furies more than I... Yeah, I really should have used the Furies more. Good thing on my opponent for countering on that. Being a Khorne main, he knew Furies were a big thing. So what I could have done, knowing if he went archers, just saved up for 1800 and did a big push with those Furies onto his back line, while the Marauder Horsemen sneak on back, and I have my Marauders in the front line trying to deal with any spearmen. Because trying to go Rangers with any halberd units that the High Elves have are quite expensive, so you can't do everything at once. You can get 1 or 2 maybe, if you're lucky, but then you really don't have much of an archer backline. And these Marauder Horsemen, thank goodness. Just throwing axes everywhere. Such a good unit, such a good skirmish unit. Here come the dogs. Someone did embrace quick enough. And I believe my opponent... Yeah, this is going to be going soon enough. We really came back from that. Although my opponent did get ahead in points. He's got white lines coming, going for the charge, and then getting out, because that's not a fight they can take. Finishing up these spearmen. Those white lines should get handled pretty soon by 2 things of Marauder Horsemen. Most of his other units are now just fleeing. My dogs did what they were supposed to do, just take whatever damage, so the Hellforge host can clear up anything else. More bloodletters, because bloodletters are the name of the game right now. Man, bloodletters are so good. Minotaurs just taking care of everything else too. Those Minotaurs, yeah, pretty good value, 2,800. Well worth their effort. See, this is the problem with Minotaurs. If they keep doing so well, CA's gonna nerf them again. They're like, no, they can't do well. Khorne can't have fun. Sorry, guys. You can't do what you're supposed to do. Violently beat everything to death. Then what else can we do? Because like I said, we don't have anything for fast or even really heavy cav. Skull Crushers are more defenders, and Minotaurs do a better job at it. And we can't catch anything fast without... anything fast with any slight armor, because Fleshhounds lose to armor. Not 40 armor. That's more of the light/medium armor territory. But anything like 50 or above, Fleshhounds usually don't do too well. And look at those white lines already cut in less than half. And that's all we have to do is just keep cutting them down with those axes. I sent my other Marauder to try to deal with his not his backline, but his home objective. And my opponent is up on points right now, so that is not ideal. His War Lions in the middle of all those spears, but we're going to gut those soon. He's got Rangers coming in. Bloodletters are still around. My Hellforge hosts look like they got taken care of. And it looks like these, yeah, we're going to keep throwing axes at the back of all these units. I should have other bloodletters coming in soon to come deal with the rest of this. Oh god. Overall, I definitely could have microed better. Prioritize the right units to their targets. And not thrown away so many units like my Marauders early game. And had I not forgotten about some of those Fleshhounds and other Marauders, I could have actually used them to take out these Reavers. But it looks like we're back in it. We're ready to cap, and we are behind, but we're not behind on much, and we had to force our opponent to respond to me capping his home objective. Otherwise, he gets triple capped. And we're going to charge into the backline of those Reavers as we take this objective easily. Rangers never got onto the objective, and all our units are spread out. Opponent's going to have to work for this one. More bloodletters coming in. Looks like... No, I think those might be more spear or halberds. Yeah, Rangers versus Forsaken. Forsaken have this... Nah, no problem. 63 weapon strength, and a charge from behind on those Rangers. Yeah, all that's left are going to be, what, these Silver Helms? That's about it, and the Minotaur should deal with that quite nicely. All I had to do was sacrifice my Marauder Horsemen, and they're out of ammunition, so I think that's a fair trade. Just have these Marauders of Khorne holding the line until I get my Bloodletters in here. I should have those Marauder Horsemen hitting into those backline. More Reavers. I should be summoning in dogs soon to deal with them. Rangers should be done soon. And here come the Bloodletters, yeah. My opponent trying to get a backline in. But these Minotaurs do oh, they're Phoenix Guard. Sorry, I don't know what the name of their halberd units are. Phoenix Guard, that's what they are. Here we do. You can see over there we got some Fleshhounds summoned in to try to intercept, I believe, those Reavers. Yeah. Oh no, we're going to juke them. Totally going to ignore them. It looks like he doesn't want any of those Fleshhounds. He knows better. Unless he's trying to sandwich them, but it's a little too late for that. I think I'm going to send them over to his home objective, actually. It's not a bad move, as we try to push off the rest of his units. He's trying to push off my Marauder Horsemen. But we're going to take those dogs and those other Marauder Horsemen onto his home objective, apparently. And try to triple cap this boy. As those Bloodletters clean up this Phoenix Guard and the rest of his units. And they should do that quite handily. Especially with Forsaken there in the front line dealing with those Reavers. Reavers have no capping power, and once we get rid of the Phoenix Guard, yeah, what else can he do? But it's going to be close. He's only got... He's got 100... He's got 100 seconds. Me, not so much. Well, if I cut it in half, I only have 100 seconds too, so it's actually going to be quite close. And he's going to recap this objective how? I mean, yeah, I guess he's got more Spearmen and more Illyrian Reavers. And the Rangers came back? That might be a problem. But we're basically just trading out right now. I'm ahead almost, well, really 3,000. Oh, my Marauder Horsemen are taking it. Chaos Warriors of Khorne, some real units to really take in the rest of these Reavers. They should last us a while. No, my Bloodletters, they're dying. Don't do that. Oh, but we got his home objective, so yeah. We're going to have 60 seconds on the clock, a minute. For my opponent, we'll see. We're going to sacrifice these Marauders and Fleshhound to deal with these Silver Helms. It's going to take them a while to get through all that, though. He's just sending in more shit, and I don't blame him. More Marauders coming in, and finally the Chaos Warriors showed up. We're just trying to get them on the objective at this point. He's not even paying attention to the Minotaurs, and the Minotaurs are doing everyone's hero's work, everyone's work. Just taking out Silver Helms, Illyrian Reavers, whatever they can get their hands on. And it's so close. Look at that. 30 seconds. For me... It's like 25 seconds? Yeah. I might actually get this. Ooh, it's going to be really close. It's going to really depend on how he captures his home objective. Minotaur's just cutting through those Reavers. As the Chaos Warriors finally make it onto the objective. How does he have more points than me? Most of his units are damn near gone. I guess those Spearmen count for something as those dogs finish off those Reavers. Getting them. And there we go. Right on it. 2 seconds. 2 points. If he had 2 seconds more, he would have won that. But no, it was... you could hear me sweat. That's how fucking close it was. Jeez. Valkyrie basically paid for herself. Jeez. Minotaur? Ugh, let's wait for this lag to go away. Valkyrie paid for herself. There we go. Minotaur did great. 4,000 value. Jeez. The other one, not so much, but it almost paid for itself. Marauder Horsemen, yeah, they did pretty solid. One even paid for itself and then some. Even my Marauders did pretty solid. Yeah, wow, 800. I guess they most did well against those Spearmen. Let's see. Hellforge Host did pretty good, paid for itself practically. What about the rest of my units? Halberds, not surprised. Chaos Warrior stood in there, took some damage. Jeez! Bloodletter did 4 times its value. This one, almost 4 times. Jeez. Yeah, I should have brought more Bloodletters. I didn't even use the Furies, so... yeah, that was bad on my end. Yeah, oh man. GG, opponent, GG. Look at the rest of these values. I should have used the Furies, but I've been finding Furies more lackluster now and then. Better for taking out artillery, but those are usually protected, so I'm up in the air about it. My opponent's value is not too bad either. But yeah, I hope you guys like that. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter so you can get some clips and all that sneak peek, so you can get updated on the stream. And yeah, with all that said, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. Peace. Goodbye for now.